Flying Target. Powered by Baskieri and Pilagri. Today on the Flying Target podcast, something a little bit different. Usually we're chatting shooting, we're talking to shooters, but a critical part of shooting is the administration that goes in to the back end, the stuff that no one really is ultra keen to do and has sometimes become a bit of a pain. We're chatting to Hardus van Pletzen. Hardus, thank you very much for making some time for me.
Thank you. And hello, guys. Nice to be on the show.
So Hardus is a clay target shooter, but he's also he's a man of many skills. But one of his skills is developing systems using AI to make all sorts of things in life easier. And he has developed a thing which has now been taken up by Compact South Africa. We're going to be chatting to one of the club owners today. We're also going to be going onto the back end of the system to show you as shooters what your experience will be, and to club owners what your experience will be in the administration, and just to try and make the little time we have in modern life, which is rushed, we're all busy, everyone's got some place to be. When we get to the range, we want to spend as much time shooting and having a good time as possible, not doing administration. And I think this system developed by Hardus can help us. He's from deploytoday.ai, and he has built this system, and he's going to take us through it now. First up, Hardus, I think we should get one of your happy customers on the line. Uncle Frick, would I be correct in saying that technology, you weren't secretly, while we were at the shooting range, you weren't secretly learning how to become a Microsoft coder? You have computer skills, but not of the best.
You can say I've got computer skills. The on button is right over there.
So when Hardus came to you and said, like, listen, he wants to help you with a website, what was your first thought?
Oh, crap. Because I am not familiar with this stuff. I'm actually sometimes a bit scared of it. And I was worried that it was going to be beyond what I can handle.
Because what he's now delivered is more than a website. He's basically giving you a business system, which, first of all, it makes the window to your club, the online window to your club, which is your website, makes it look incredible. But the stuff on the back end is where you're actually finding the most use. Am I right?
Most benefit, absolutely. The more business comes from the website itself. It's more in your face out there, which the previous website didn't do. So absolutely, the new website is in your face, and it gives you the opportunities. But like you said rightly, it's in the background where the running of the club, the scoring, the update, and all that kind of stuff has just become, it's not an issue anymore. It just happens. Where when I was doing it by hand, it was a pain in the backside.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's worldwide. That's a problem. I mean, we come from the times of clipboard, pen. Who's got a pen? You had the pen. What do you mean you don't have the pen? And then you finally find the pen, and then it's, writing down. Someone has to capture that information, because on the odd occasion, you can't be at the range to shoot. You want to see what the other guys did, because these are your mates, these are your things. And now that happens automatically. And on the odd occasion where you do have a manual scorecard, your system can now basically take a photo, it will read the information, and will update automatically.
That's the beauty of it. It's the fact that we take a photo of it, or actually I just scan it in on my printer at this point. I scan it in, and automatically it's allocated to the shooter, to the range, and it gives you all the information. So you can go at the end of the day, go in and see what happened on that day. And I didn't have to load it in by hand, physically one by one, which is absolutely amazing. It also gives me a better idea of what's going on in the club with my shooters, where they're struggling, what they're struggling with, and of course, which range I can up a bit, because the scores are too good.
Now, at the speed AI is working, Hardus was telling me before we started recording, soon you won't even have to scan the score sheets anymore. It will be live when the shooter is finished shooting, because he will be able to program your website to be accessible by a scorer on their own phone to score hits and misses for a squad live. So even that process will become quicker.
I didn't like the idea of an iPhone or a phone, because my eyes are bad. So I can't read the bloody thing. So I went and bought a tablet today, which I want to give to Hardus tomorrow, and he must get this thing to link. So we will score it on the tablet, and it will immediately link live to the website. I mean, it just, that's why I say it starts to scare me, because I can't believe this is happening like that.
Yeah. But now, Hardus, for the guys that are maybe worried about incurring an extra cost, you can program it that you can give access to whoever has their own phone to score live on any range. Am I right?
Yes. So here is the idea, and that's what makes it so much fun. What I've built is a system where Frick or whoever is the club owner can decide who must be the scorer. Normally, the scorer would be the trapper, but if there is a shortage of the trappers, or there's a problem, or there's someone who's not shooting, like the wife, for example, and she's watching, you can say that person becomes the scorer. They can use their own phone or their own tablet. They simply log in and they start scoring, and whatever they score is actually saved on the website, and that generates the ranking, and it calculates the person's percentage of the icon, and it gives you head-to-head charts and graphs of how does this shooter compare to someone else. So this here, what we're looking at now, is this is the admin portal. This is where Pro Shot Clay Target Club do their admin, allocate trappers, shoot results, all sorts of things. But let me just show you about the scoring, which I love. I think this is so beautiful. There's a menu here with all sorts of goodies. Now, firstly, you can assign who you want the scorekeepers to be. So you simply click on scorekeepers. It's going to give you a list of all your members. Your trappers is obviously on this list. And then there is a little button that says, I'm granting this person the right to be a scorer. So, and you can revoke that right. Okay? By granting them a right to be a scorer, the next time that they log in, they will suddenly see a button that says live scoring.
Okay.
Which a normal member won't see.
Okay.
Now, when they get to live scoring and they click on live scoring, this is what they're going to see. Now, imagine this. It looks like this. This is now on a computer screen, but this is what you will see on your cell phone.
Yes.
It's going to say live scoring. It's going to have the day and the date. Let me resume. I was busy scoring people, so let me delete the draft. You're going to say today's the 17th of June. Which range are we going to shoot? You're going to choose the range, the round, sporting clays. And then a very critical step is which of the shooting position tables supplied by Compact are we going to shoot?
Okay, so maybe that's a one with the stop. So even though it says sporting clothes, this is for a Compact Sporting round. And Compact Sporting, for those of you who know how that works, Compact Sporting have set tables that you will shoot specific sequences of targets, and that has been built into the back end now. That's what Hardus has shown us there.
Correct. That's the critical part. It's built into the back end. I mean, I only found out that there were these shooting tables like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that the Clay Target Club owner would go inky, pinky, ponky. Daddy had a donkey. Donkey goes to A and Daddy goes to B and you know. But any case, so when you select the table, you say, is it 5 singles per stand? Is it 1 double on report per stand? Is it 3 singles and a sim double? So let's say we take table 19. And now you would add the shooter. So I'm going to just add 3 shooters for fun.
These have already been loaded.
Yeah. So that's how easy it is to choose the shooter.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and type and capture and whatever. People are pre-populated.
Could there be a world where before you arrive at the range or as part of your indemnity, you could sign up to the website and it would already be there then?
We've just built that.
Okay. Okay.
We've just built this. I showed Frick that last night.
Yeah, okay.
So when people come along and they report to the club, one of the things that's always been a pain in the ass, now they've got to go and sign the indemnity, or let's call it the attendance register and the indemnity. That is all now electronic. When you arrive at Frick on Saturday, you will walk up to a tablet. If you're a member, you just search for your name and you check in and you sign online that you're there. If you're a guest, you would capture your basic details, and now you're in the database.
Yeah.
And the moment you're in the database, you can populate the score sheet.
And that just makes this much easier. So
Yeah.
as we've
And
already,
the
yes, sir.
interesting thing, what it also means is that if you arrive at the range and you haven't actually logged in and signed the indemnity, your name is not going to appear on the shooting list for the day.
Yeah.
So you go in there, you just go and fall in at a range, your name is not there, so you're not going to be able to shoot.
So that
So you
builds an
have to
extra
really-
layer of protection for you as the
As
range
well,
owner.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also when the trapper then has to populate the names, he doesn't have to go through all 95 members to find the guy. There's only the guys that have actually registered on the day that he's going to look through.
Yes. So everything just gets sped up and okay.
Yeah.
So now we've done all of that.
Well, let me show you the scoring.
Yes.
So now it says to you at the top, that's today's date. We're going to shoot range 1. We're on round 1. The shooting table is table 19. There are the three shooters. It's Alan Price, Andries van Zyl, and Ayanda Mgoboza. And now the trapper looks at the screen. He doesn't need that menu anymore because it says shooter 1 is Alan Price. He's on stand 1. He's going to shoot his first bird of 5. He's going to go for clay number 1 of 25. And he's got to shoot A as a single.
Mm-hmm.
And now the trapper simply has to go miss or hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Now watch this. At the bottom here, it's actually on the cell phone as he scrolls down. It shows the 25 clays that the shooter's going to shoot. Clay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shows him which clay it is. And it'll show if it's a sim or a double pair or whatever.
Yeah,
the case
whatever's
may
happening.
be.
Now, just for the clubs that maybe if we are in the United States or in the UK where sporting clays doubles is the preference, this can be customized for that.
Of course. Yeah. So watch what happens in practice. Now, Alan calls pull and the bird flies and he hits it and the scorer says hit. It jumps. Now I can see
It's gone to the next
Alan
shooter.
has got 1 out of 1. Andries is going to miss. It goes to Ayanda. He's going to miss. Now, when I go back to Alan, I can see that his first bird was a hit. I'm now on bird number 2. It's bird C.
Mhm.
You can see it there. You can see it here. And now we're going to say, okay, this one he's going to miss. So now it's Andries. His first bird was a miss. He's hit it. Ayanda, he's hit it. And now I'm back to Alan.
And he's on his he's on his third bird now.
He's on his third bird. So he's going to say, okay, hit, and hit. Everyone's done their third birds. Now we're back at Alan. He's on the sim pair and it's going to say, okay, the first was a hit. When I do the second one as a miss, it jumps to the next shooter.
Yeah.
And now I'm ready to score his sim pair.
He's simple.
So we're going to say, okay, his first one is a hit or a miss rather, and then a hit. And it's going to go to the third shooter. And let's say he got lucky and it's a hit and a hit. And it's going to say, okay, everyone's done with station 1. Do you want to advance?
Advanced to station.
There we are. And now we're back in Alan, but you can see the first cage, exactly what was the scoring.
Yeah, so out of the first 5 targets, that was his score.
Yeah. And now I'm going to go, that was the bird, and it jumps to Andries, and now I can do Andries.
So let's say for things like big events, you could actually have this screen at the back so everybody watching will know what's going on.
Yes, we're turning this into the $1 million golf. In the clubhouse, there's a TV or a range of TVs up. On that TV, you can see this display board of what's happening on what range.
Yeah.
And you can see in real time as the trapper clicks hit or miss what's happening with the shooter, who's on their way to a straight, who's really flaking, what's happening. Everything can be watched. You can be sitting in America on holiday and you can log into the system and watch the competition in real time on the screen and see exactly what people are shooting.
So obviously that is, connectivity required, etc. But we are getting there where connectivity is becoming almost ubiquitous. So we might be struggling at the moment with internet, but it won't be like that for a long time. And like you say, even if it doesn't, as soon as you get back to the computer or the next time you log online, bang, it's immediate.
Correct.
That's incredible. Uncle Frick, thank you very much for your
Oh,
time.
I want to ask Frick one last question, which I think is a really
Yeah.
important thing to ask and for him to give feedback on. I think it's fair if we ask you, has the system made your life better? You're definitely going to say yes.
Of course, yes. What a question.
But there's
No,
one more
absolutely.
important-
From the website side and from the tracking and the record keeping of it, it's just made it so much easier and so much more detailed. I mean, really, really detailed.
So there's a much more important question than all of these things. Have you seen this placing you in a position where you're making more money?
Well, it's cutting my labor, my own labor for one thing. So absolutely. No,
Has
it's got major financial benefits.
Has the range become busier because you're offering something that other clubs don't have?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Ardis. It's something that people have not seen. And when you tell them about it and you say, well, if you want to go see what's happened, go onto the website tonight and you can see how you how you fared today. The question is, what? I say, yeah, it's almost live. You can go and check what you did today. Maybe you don't want to, I understand that, but yeah, you can still go and do it.
So I want to show everyone, not just Andre. You know it now. I want to show what I think is the most important part of live scoring. It's not the live scoring itself, or maybe saying the most important part of live scoring is saying the wrong thing. I'm going to go and switch to what is a member see.
Yes.
So, and this is what I said to Frick, and I think this is a really important discussion point, something that is a critical thing to understand for the range owner. Ammo is more expensive. Petrol is more expensive. You have to give people a reason to go to the range.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to create competition.
Yeah, so they can have an experience when they get to the range. It's not
Correct.
just
Yes.
aimless shooting.
Correct. So what is the first thing that we've done? And I actually want to come back to the shoot results. So please don't let me get carried away and not go to the results. I just want to show you the rankings. So now what we do at ProShot Clay Target Club, we can now go and say, okay, Gerard Greef has been there on 3 different days. He shot 8 rounds. His total from all the rounds that he shot is 183 out of 200. His average is 22.9 out of 25. So he's the high gun with 100%. The rest of the people, here's Brent Smith. He's just shot 100 straight at Waterhaven, won the competition there with, I think, 198 out of 200. But he's now behind Gerard at the moment.
At ProShot.
At ProShot.
Yeah.
So the only way for him to regain his #1 position is to come back and shoot.
Yeah.
And get his average score up. And now you can see how the cookie crumbles and what people are doing from the best shooter to the worst.
And what this also does is, as much as shooting is a solo sport and you're competing against yourself, all of us love to have a chat with our mates. How you doing? Oh, I got you on that range.
Absolutely.
So it creates this another level to the club experience where you can actually, even if you're not there, you can see your mates' scores and you can have this interaction. With that in mind, obviously, it looks like there's lots of place here for gallery uploads. You can use videos. I see there's suggestion boards. You can customize this to whatever a specific club needs.
Absolutely. But now I want to show you the trick, the secret, the card in the sleeve. What will make the club owner more money and what's going to make the shooter happy? Can I show you?
Please.
It's something really simple but critical. Let's go to results. Okay. So what I can now do is I can say someone shot on a specific day and I can go and choose the day, and I'm going to see what the shooter did. So let's go to 16 June, for example, and we're going to look at Craig Smith. Okay. Sorry, this is Brent, his son. So it's not a big deal. Everyone will say, oh, he shot 3 out of 6 ranges. He had 3 rounds. And that's the story for that day. But look here, you shot range 1. He shot range 2. Let's go to range 4, where he shot 17 out of 25.
Yes, yes.
Now, because I've got his score over here, and because I have the compact tables, it not just records his misses, but it records which birds did he miss.
And you've even built in a coach, but there where it tells him clearly having problem with trap C, D, and E.
Well, look at it. He's missed C once, twice. He's missed D twice. So he missed E twice.
Yeah.
So he's got a variety of problems here. He's got 3 birds that he's got to work at. Now, maybe that is not such a, let me show you a more profound result or something. Here is such a good example. Let's go and look at Johannes Greef. He got 18 out of 25. Look at that. He missed D 3 times.
So then he can know that he needs to go and work on that type of bird the next time he goes for a coaching session or a training session.
Correct. Because if he could sort out his D problem, his score is going to go from 18 to 20 or 21 immediately.
Yeah, so he knows the D bird on range number 4, whatever kind of bird that is, he needs to go and replicate in his training to improve.
And before seeing this, the shooter didn't have a clear visual representation of where's my problem.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Now, when you know where your problem is, now you're going to come back and shoot more. When you shoot more, you buy more ammo, so it's good for the gun shops. You come to the range more, you spend money there. And you as the shooter, not just you spend money, but you become a better compact shooter.
Yeah.
And you go up in the rankings because you're now working at the problems that were identified. I don't know if that makes sense if I say
absolutely,
it like this.
Absolutely. All of us, when we start this game, we start pegging ourselves according to different shooters, generally our mates. So I love this part of it. Show me here. So let's pick a rival. Let's see how we can.
Okay. So I'm going to go and say find a rival. There's obviously a menu on the side for this, but this is like the quick way of getting there. And now it says, who do you want to go head to head to? So I'm just going to scroll down the page. There's a list of shooters, and I can now go and choose someone. Unfortunately, Andre is sitting here. He's a much better shooter than I am. So if I go and choose him, I'm not going to look that great, but let me see if I can find his name on this list. And then you can see why it's so important to go and...
But show us your search function. Just type it in the front.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, man. You know, how can I not do that?
There we go.
Are. All right, so I can see there's Andre Graham Kunz. He's a Shooters Gun Club. And I go head to head and look what it says. It says that Andre and I shot in the same competitions 8 times, and he's beaten me 8 times. And he's beaten me on average with bloody 20 clays. And then it shows the score. It says at Waterhaven, I scored 175. He did 192. At Cos Cavalleros, he didn't beat me that far. At least, you know, it was 10. But there I can see my history. But this is really the pretty part. Here you can see a chart where it compares head to head on this day, the 1st of February, 2025, at Cos Cavalleros. Andre shot 183 and I shot 173.
Yeah, and it's a simple thing, but I think it's a nice way to see how you can track your improvement according to another shooter. It's a nice feature. I like this. I think guys will spend a lot of time on this page.
Yes.
All of that becomes very, very easy.
Okay, now let me play devil's advocate, because at ProShot, Uncle Frick's range, the internet is unreliable, and this is a common problem for shooting ranges, because we have to shoot out of town, we have to go some places. What could then happen if we couldn't log on online live? What would be the
Okay.
solution then?
That's very, very simple. So the app that so I'm talking about an app, but there's different components to the system. So let me talk about the live scoring app, which is just a component of this whole business system that runs the club and do all these kind of things. I've built it in such a way that when you install the app on your phone or on a tablet, it loads the database. The person who's the scorer can't access, it's all protected in the background. They can see a list of shooters, name and surname, no more than that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say that they have access to the list of shooters that belong to the club, members or guests, without internet. They can actually choose the shooters that are going to shoot. They're going to do the scoring. And when they walk back from the range to the clubhouse, if there's internet at the clubhouse, it'll pick up the internet, it'll sync it to the website. If there's no internet at the clubhouse and they come close to the computer, it'll actually connect with Bluetooth and send the scores from the app to the computer system. And the very next time that it connects to the internet, it'll upload it to the site and then it'll be available to all the members. So it doesn't matter if you're online or offline, you can score.
So now, Uncle Frick, in terms of time, what would be before the new system? We'd come to shoot, let's say on a Saturday, we'd come, let's say there's 30 to 40 shooters, X amount of rounds get shot, but now you've got all of these score sheets. Then tell me about everything from all the shooters leaving now. You've got this pack of score sheets. What would then be the rest of your day? What would it look like?
Okay, then first I make a cup of coffee because then I'm going to sit for quite a while and I'm going to start going every score sheet, take the scores from a shooter and allocate it to his name on what I call a round tracking sheet, pen and paper. And I put in hardest shot today, 7 rounds, and these were his scores. And so I go through every score sheet, 40 people, all of them. And at the end of the day, I've got all those things. Then I should come home. Sit on the computer and load those scores onto his name. But it doesn't give you any specifics. It just tells you he shot 7 rounds and his highest score for the day typically was about 12. Okay, we're talking about hardest now. So I will then, I should then allocate all the scores for a specific shooter. And like I said, it became just such a hassle and so time consuming that I actually stopped doing it. So my main job is at the end of the day to take those score sheets and arrange them and get them allocated to every shooter to just see who shot and what their scores were on the day. But there's no going back after that to say, "Ooh, what happened last week Saturday?" You must remember. I can't remember.
Yeah, but in terms of the cash, because I mean, knowing people's scores is one thing, but like in terms of actual keeping track of who owes you money, has that process become simple?
Absolutely. I sit, I work out, and I usually do it on a Sunday night. That's my accounts night. And I go through Saturday and Sunday sheets, and I say, this guy paid cash, this guy owes me EFT. Then I send him a WhatsApp to say, you've shot so many rounds, so many extra clays, you owe me X amount. And then I must remember who I sent it to so I can check the bank account the whole time. Now, what Hardest has created for me here, which I still want to see if it works, is he will actually send out an account on behalf of ProShot to say, Andre, you shot 2 rounds, you owe me so much money. And if that can happen smoothly, Hardest, then we're on a different plane altogether. Because then I've got Sunday night free as well.
Isn't that amazing? You're going to have Sunday nights free because how I built the system, just for people that are wondering so that they know how the accounting works, is when you either import the cell phone photo of the score sheet or you actually just import the PDF that you scan on a printer, it obviously reads who's the shooter. It compares it to the database and say, is this person a member or is it a guest? Depending if it's a member or a guest, it decides what is the price that they must be charged per round or per clay. And then it actually, if the person shot in 4 rounds, it says, okay, he's a guest, he's going to pay a little bit more per round. 4 times whatever your range fee is for a guest, that's the total, and there it's on the table. And then it adds it up and say that's your income for the day or for the weekend or whatever view you want to see. It's all automated because everything starts on the score sheet. You know, if someone shot, something happened, and you've got to work it backwards and say, okay, there are the scores. What do the scores look like? How are the other shooters in the club going to view it? What happens from an accounting point of view? Yeah, it's simple if you build it logically and you make it work.
Do the people who are going to be scoring need to be savvy?
No.
So what I mean by that is, like, I get nervous when I have to change a plug or I have to log on to a Zoom call.
So-
If I'm not, let's say I'm in a squad and we're watching some guy shoot and someone says, "Oh man, just score for us quickly." What would happen?
No, let me make you laugh. I'll start with Frick.
Okay, well, just remember the laugh. I just want to put the cord in.
Okay. So this is really, really interesting.
Are you now going to laugh at my cell phone size and all that again?
Yes, I want to tell because I think it's important. And your thought process was logical. That is what one would think.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me when you're ready, and I can. So let me. Okay, Frick. Let's start with you. I said to you that I want to do an online scoring, and then I said to you, you know, someone can use a tablet or a phone, and your first words was, no, a phone's not going to work. Please explain to Andre and people who are watching what was going on in your mind and why did you immediately say a phone's not going to work?
Okay. I know a score sheet, 6 shooters, 25 per shooter. There's your score sheet. That's how you're going to score them. And I said to Hudders, it's not going to work. It's too small. I look at my hands and I look at some of the trappers' hands, and that's not going to work. All right.
They've been swinging 17 spanners for a while, you know, like, so.
Exactly. So guy's going to shoot 4 clays at once, kind of thing. And then Hudders send me a photo of what the scorecard will actually look like. I don't know if you've got an example there, Hudders.
Let's put that on a screen now. Can we do that?
Yes, of course we can do that. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you, and then I can show you. You can see, is it difficult, is it easy, or whatever the case might be.
So what we've done now is we've filled in a score sheet that was done by the range officer on the range. We're going to now act as the range officer and the range assistant, if you're lucky enough to have that at a competition. You're going to take a photo, you're going to send it to the administration staff of the competition, and AI, hopefully, is going to be able to read this and put it straight onto the system. So show me how this works.
All right. So we simply take the score sheet. Here it is. For those of you looking from there, I think you can't see really the numbers or whatever. I put it down. I like to put it like against my computer because then I don't have to hold it and I perch it over there.
So you want it on a flat?
Yeah, I want it on a flat surface.
And what's the reason for that?
Oh, the reason for that is I program the AI to read certain areas of the page.
Okay.
So if the page is frumpled, it misaligns.
So I see the score sheet is a score sheet by ProShot Systems. Is this the score sheet template that has been programmed into the system?
Correct.
Okay.
So obviously when you use our system, we give you the templates for the score sheets and the online range register and all sorts of other things, because we've programmed these specific templates to be read by the AI in a specific way.
And ProShot Systems, am I correct, is the company that will be selling the range business systems to the rangers?
That's correct.
And that was developed by your company, Deploy Today.ai.
That was developed by my company, Deploy Today.ai. So let me take a photo of the score sheet. As you can see, I'm doing that right now. There we are, done. The photo's on my iPhone. I can take this away and give you the score sheet.
So this would be on the range, live. It's just come off. The assistant takes the photo, can WhatsApp it, email, whatever they've got, or if they have to run it up to the stats office, can take the photo there.
Correct. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually sending the photo to myself on WhatsApp.
Mhm.
I'm going to open my WhatsApp so that I can download the photo. So on my other screen here, I'm going to grab it quickly, and maybe I can just show you here on the screen that we're recording so that you're not missing. We say, okay, there's the score sheet. And here you can see, can you see my photo wasn't perfect?
Yeah.
But in any case, I'm going to say just save to downloads. Do that. Now I've got a copy of the score sheet, and I am going to go back to let me go to my admin portal where I'm going to upload the score sheet. So this is the ProShot Clay Target Club admin system. I'm simply going to go to upload score sheet.
Yeah.
And let's get that score sheet a bit closer. We can see that this score sheet was from range number 2.
Yeah.
And it was round number 1.
And table number 19.
Table number 19. And we said that was shooting table number 19, correct?
Number 19, yes. Range number 2, round number 1, shooting table number 19.
Okay. And I'm going to go and choose my file.
Mm-hmm.
Choose the file. Say open. So now I'm going to go and say uploading. It's reading the rows. And I should see there. Took about 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
There we are.
Okay, so now you can use your hard copy to
Yes,
confirm what's going on here.
correct. So if you can help me with a hard copy, who shot 23?
Hardus van Pletsen shot at 23.
Okay, so look at the AI. It read my surname as Van Pletsen with a Z.
Yeah.
And it wasn't sure to match it to the member because my surname is actually with an S.
Okay, so you confirm that as a double check.
Correct. And now I'm just going to delete this detected name and say done. For me as an admin person to know that I've done it, Hardus van Pletsen is the right member. He's in position number 1.
But whoa, I want to check another thing here. Here on the score sheet, it says you missed bird number 10 and bird number 25. Does that match up?
Correct. And let me show you, this is the beauty of the system. When I actually zoom in, it shows which bird I've missed.
Because it's now got the table. It understands the
In the
table.
background, I've programmed it so that it actually reads the compact tables.
Okay.
Now, there's a reason why we do that. We'll come back to it now. Who shot 25?
Andre Kunz shot at 25.
And he was shooter number
2.
Okay, so let's go and choose Andre. We make sure that we choose the right member in the database because we've saved your name, Andre Graham Kunz.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and say done. And now you've got a 25. Shooter number 2, there were no birds missed.
Okay, good. Now,
All right.
Greef shot at 24.
Okay, so I like to say, and Gerard was shooter number 3, correct?
That's right.
So I'm simply going to make sure and say, okay, let's put it to the right, Gerard Greef, and he shot at 24, am I right?
That's right.
Okay, now here's a problem. The AI said, okay, he only missed 1 bird, which was bird number 20.
Yes. That's right.
Oh, and that is right.
There was no problem.
There was no problem.
Okay.
All right, who's the next shooter?
Okay, so are you looking for the score-wise? or
Give me this, who shot 17?
That was Sias Smuts.
Okay, and he was shooter number?
4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
And which birds did he miss?
Sias missed bird number 1,
Yeah,
number 5,
yeah,
number 9,
yeah,
number 12,
yeah,
number 14,
yeah.
19, 18. No, I'm lying. I'm reading the score instead of reading the number. He missed birds number 12, 14, 16, 20, and 22.
Okay. Now I want to zoom in here and I want to show you something. This is the critical part.
Okay.
Why am I making a big deal about us using the compact tables to track what the shooter has done? Look what's happening here with Sias. We can see how many times did he miss bird A?
Yeah, he missed A 3 times and C twice.
Twice.
So maybe it's a problem bird or maybe it's something you can work on.
Correct. Now, I've said it before and I want to say it again. If you want to do well at compact, you can't compete against people who are shooting out of 25 and you are shooting out of 22. And let me tell you what I mean by that. If you can clearly see that A is your problem bird and you've not practiced or had coaching to shoot A,
Yeah.
You're not shooting out of 25. You're going to miss the A's.
Yeah, yeah.
You're actually competing shooting out of 22.
Yeah, it makes
And
sense.
that's why he scores lower.
Okay, and then the last shooter we've got, he shot a 14, is Donnie Smith.
Okay. There's Donnie.
And let's make sure that I can now read. Donnie missed bird number 2,
Yeah.
number 4,
Yes.
bird number 8,
Yes.
bird number 9,
Got
number
it.
12,
Yes.
number 14, number 18, number 19, number 21, number 24, and 25. And he got a grand total of 14.
Correct. And I think you missed the shooter, which was Billy Boetus.
Oh, I did. Billy Boetus is shooter number 4. Billy shot a 20. He missed bird number 4, bird number 10, bird number 14, bird number 17, and bird number 24 for his 20.
Okay. Now I want to zoom in on Donnie Smith because I just want to make this point again. Look at Donnie. How many times did he miss bird number F? 3 times.
Yes.
How many times did he miss A? 3 times.
Yeah.
He only missed E once.
Mm-hmm.
He missed C. So his best bird is E because that's the one that he missed the least.
Yeah.
He's got to go and work at all those other birds. And the moment that he becomes better at shooting those specific birds, his score will immediately go up.
Okay, but now we're now looking at the view from the administration side. Show me now what would happen on the member side.
Okay.
So
simply now, once we've double checked the scores and we know that the right shooter has been assigned, in the admin part, we're going to save results.
Mm-hmm.
And instantaneously, it's available to the member.
So you can, on your phone, on your computer, whatever, go and check it out immediately.
Correct.
Okay,
So let me show you that part. I'm now have a little switch button from admin. I'm going to switch it to member. Let me just do that right. And now I'm going to see what members see. I'm actually signed in as hard as VP.
Mm-hmm.
It says welcome. And when I go down here now, let me find the right place.
Results.
I can go and see results.
Okay.
So today's the 19th of June.
It is.
And we're now going to go and say, what results did we get? So look at this. Andre actually shot 2 rounds on the same range because we fooled around earlier today. And there are your scores. And Gerard has shot 2 rounds and Hardest has shot 2 rounds. But this is your raw score out of 100 for the day.
Yes.
And that's why it's ranking the people like this.
Oh, so it's actually made it a percentage.
Correct.
Okay.
And now, because I can see that I scored range 2 or I shot on range 2, when I click on range 2, I can go and see what did I shoot in round 1, what did I shoot in round 2.
And is that an AI coach? Little comment I see there.
Yes. So just so that those of you who are wondering, we actually uploaded the score sheet twice. That's why you see a double thing. But look at the AI coaching. Gerard Greef, it says, man, you must B twice. And he shot 2 rounds. This one C. And then it tells you which birds have you shot, did you miss most, and where you should actually get coaching and improve on.
Incredible.
This
is an incredible system, and I think it's going to make, first of all, life for club owners and range managers much easier. And then for us as the shooters, it gives a whole different layer to the shooting experience.
Absolutely. What am I saying? I'm saying we don't have to be scared of AI. We've got to harness it. We've got to use it. We've got to use its strengths and make our lives better. That's what we should do, rather than be, oh shit, it's going to take my job. I look at it and say, it'll free up some of the time that I'm spending on mundane, repetitive tasks and give me the opportunity to apply myself better. But before I get too philosophical about that, I've seen that people are scared of AI, and I'm saying we can use it to help us together as a collective and everyone out there. And the second thing that I've seen is that the average person don't want to learn AI. They don't want to spend like I do. I mean, one of my biggest complaints, I said it to Andre when he arrived, I say I don't have enough time in a day to learn more about AI and these things that we use and do, because it's moving at such a rapid pace. But the reality is, someone who has his own business don't want to go and sit there and say, let me spend 2 hours a day learning about AI so that I can apply it in my business.
Yeah.
It's much better for them to come to someone like me and say, let me pay you for the service. You're not going to learn how to become a plumber and unclog your toilet, or how to become a mechanic and fix your car.
Yeah.
Why would you want to learn to do all these AI things yourselves if you can have someone like me and our business who can come and sort it out for you in a jiffy?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you are watching this and you're thinking to yourself, maybe I can see applications for things that I need, deploy today.ai. It's Hardis's business. Happy to have a chat. Hardis, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Andre. It's been most enjoyable.
Flying Target. Powered by Baskieri and Pelagri.